On a cold, rainy February night in 2000, 9-year-old Asha Degree left the safety of her North Carolina home and vanished into the darkness. Her disappearance shocked her tight-knit community and sparked a massive search effort. But even after scouring the area, interviewing witnesses, and following up on leads, investigators have never been able to determine what happened to Asha after she slipped away under the cover of night. This puzzling case has haunted law enforcement and Asha's loved ones for over 20 years. Where did she go that night? Was she sleepwalking or running away? Or did something more sinister transpire after Asha stepped out into the storm? We may never fully know what fate befell this sheltered fourth grader who feared strangers and thunderstorms. But perhaps by examining key details surrounding her disappearance, we can get closer to understanding the truth. Hello guys! Welcome back to Crimeco, your go-to place for uncovering some interesting true crime stories from all around the world. We're here to bring you the latest and most detailed information. If you find this intriguing, we'd be thrilled if you could subscribe to our channel. Also, hitting that like button really goes a long way in helping our channel grow. Your support means a lot to us. So, grab a blanket for comfort, and let's delve into today's fascinating case together. Our story starts in the small city of Shelby, nestled in the western tip of North Carolina. Shelby lies about an hour west of Charlotte, in an area surrounded by thick forests and winding rural roads. The Degrees called Shelby home. Parents Harold and Aquila Degree worked steady jobs at local companies. At the time of Asha's disappearance, her father Harold loaded trucks, while her mother Aquila built pianos. Like many kids in this part of the country, Asha and her older brother O'Brien were raised to be polite, trusting, and sheltered. Their parents kept a watchful eye on the children and tried to limit their exposure to unsafe outside influences. The Degrees did not have a computer at home out of concern that their kids could encounter predators online. The children were only allowed to watch limited TV as well. But they still lived active lives centered around school, church, and sports. Asha attended a local elementary school and played basketball on a youth league team. She was known as a shy, bright girl who loved math, science, and dreams of one day becoming a writer. The weekend before she disappeared seemed uneventful for Asha and her family. On Friday, February 11th, the kids stayed over at their aunt's house while the parents worked. On Saturday the 12th, Asha played a basketball game at a local middle school. Her team ended up losing their first game of the season that day. By all accounts, Asha was very upset about the loss and cried with her teammates afterwards. As one of the team's star players, she seemed to take the defeat hard. However, she appeared to rebound later when watching her brother play in his basketball game. The family then picked Asha up from a slumber party she attended that night at her cousin's house. Sunday brought church services and quality time visiting extended family. Asha even received Valentine's Day gifts of candy and perfume from her grandmother. That evening, she fell asleep on the couch around 6:30 p.m. She later went to bed around 9 p.m., earlier than usual due to the power going out from a car accident nearby. As her family tucked her in that night, there was no sign of the disappearance that would rock their world in just a few short hours. In the early morning hours of Valentine's Day 2000, Harold Degree returned home close to midnight and checked on his sleeping children after the power returned. He saw both Asha and her brother resting peacefully in their beds. After checking on them once more around 2:30 a.m., Harold headed to bed himself, still unaware that this would be the last time he would see his daughter. At some point between 2:30 and 6:30 a.m., 9-year-old Asha vanished. Details remain murky about exactly how and when she slipped away unnoticed that night. Her brother O'Brien told police he remembered hearing squeaking noises from her bed, which he assumed meant she changed sleeping positions. But in reality, she was quietly packing her book bag with clothes, toys, and school supplies. Before dawn, she put on a white long-sleeved shirt and pants, left her house unlocked, and embarked alone into the darkness. February 14th brought a cold, miserable rain. Flooding plagued the area and winds howled violently as Asha walked the remote highway near her home. Around 4 a.m., at least 2 drivers spotted Asha along North Carolina Highway 18. The concerned truckers called police after seeing televised reports about her disappearance. They confirmed seeing her walking in the stormy weather. When one driver turned around to check on her, she darted off the road and into the woods. She has never been seen since. Asha's anguished mother Aquila woke around 5:45 a.m. to prepare the kids for school. But instead of her daughter's smiling face, she found only an empty bed. After calling family members and frantically searching the house, a terrified Aquila called police to report Asha missing by 6:40 a.m. Authorities immediately deployed crews to comb the area around the home using scent dogs and helicopters. Concerned members of the community also assisted in the search. Even with hundreds of volunteers, police could not locate any solid trace of Asha. The only evidence recovered included some of her hair bows and candy wrappers found in a nearby shed. But curiously, the search dogs failed to pick up her scent there. For days, the area remained flooded with first responders and volunteers looking for the shy 4th grader. Despite their exhaustive efforts searching in dangerous weather conditions, the 9,000-hour search yielded no answers. A week later, they called off the active search but continued following leads. Asha's face was broadcast on local and national news, pleading for any information on her whereabouts. But even with FBI involvement, no significant clues ever materialized. Over a year passed with little progress made in solving the confounding case. Then in August 2001, a startling discovery was made about 30 miles north of Shelby. Construction workers unearthed Asha's fully packed book bag buried and wrapped in trash bags off Highway 18. Inside, they found touching reminders of a little girl, her favorite clothes, basketball uniform, toys, and family photos. Most curiously, the bag also held items not belonging to Asha. A New Kids on the Block t-shirt and library book checked out from her school were found mysteriously packed among her own things. This perplexing new evidence only seemed to deepen the mystery of Asha's fate. Police have not disclosed exactly how or when the bag ended up so far from Asha's location. They also have not revealed forensic testing results. In the 2 decades since Asha vanished, numerous theories have arisen to explain her strange disappearance. But investigators have been unable to prove if she was sleepwalking, lured away, or met harm from an unknown assailant. Her family still holds out hope that Asha remains alive. But without more information, the circumstances of how and why she slipped away into the stormy night remain an agonizing unsolved puzzle. Perhaps one day, a crucial clue will still emerge to finally unveil the truth. In the 20-plus years since Asha Degree disappeared, investigators, her family, and amateur sleuths have pondered what exactly happened to the 9-year-old. Several theories have emerged attempting to explain her puzzling vanishing act. Let's explore some of the most compelling possibilities. Some posit that Asha was sleepwalking and left the house in an unconscious state. This could potentially explain why she would venture out into a dangerous storm alone at night. However, her family said she had no history of sleepwalking. Her brother also didn't report hearing any noises that would indicate she was moving about in a sleep-like trance. And sleepwalking for over a mile in a thunderstorm seems improbable. But we can't fully rule it out. Perhaps Asha packed her bags and slipped away in order to run away from home. However, her parents said nothing seemed amiss, and she had no obvious reason to do so. She was also younger than most runaways. And where did she plan to go? This doesn't seem to add up with her character either, being described as shy and extremely wary of strangers. Some speculate Asha planned to secretly meet up with someone she knew outside her house. But it's unclear who she might have been meeting, especially at such a late hour and far location. If she was meeting a friend, wouldn't she have told someone? And why walk in the open along a highway instead of being picked up close by? A prearranged meeting place seems odd and risky. Of course, there's always a chance a predator lured Asha away, either by force or under false pretenses. However, investigators found no clear evidence indicating an abduction. If she was grabbed along the highway, there was a very slim window to do so unseen. Still, an opportunistic criminal encountering her that night can't be ruled out. If she was groomed beforehand, the culprit could have persuaded her to sneak away willingly. It's possible that more than one theory overlaps. For example, perhaps Asha was lured out to meet someone, but became disoriented from sleepwalking on her journey and ended up lost. Maybe she then encountered danger from an unknown assailant who came across her alone on the road. With so much uncertainty surrounding her baffling case, all plausible scenarios remain on the table. Asha Degree's sudden disappearance didn't just impact the investigation and search effort. Her mystifying absence from the tightly knit community also profoundly affected those closest to the 9-year-old. Let's take a look at how key figures in Asha's life were impacted by her vanishing 20 years ago. For Asha's parents, Harold and Aquila, her disappearance shattered their sense of security. Their daughter had simply vanished from her own home, taken from the safety of her bed. The anguish of not knowing her fate has left an unfillable void in their lives. Over the years, as birthdays and holidays pass, they are continually reminded of missed milestones and the deeper heartbreak of Asha growing up unknown to them. But they have not given up hope that she will still come home one day. Asha's brother O'Brien also still feels her absence deeply. He has posted online about wishing he could see her again and tell her how much he misses her. One can only imagine the guilt and pain he shoulders from losing his beloved younger sister. For Shelby citizens, Asha's case marked the loss of their beloved homegrown, small-town sweetheart, as she came to be known. According to police, no other case has ever shaken the people of Shelby like hers did. Many still vividly recall the terror of an innocent child vanishing without a trace from their safe community. Her empty desk at school hauntingly reminded classmates of her unexplained absence. And even those who didn't know Asha personally felt compelled to join the search or provide food for volunteers during those bleak early days. 2 decades later, many locals still keep her story alive and their porch lights on in hopes she'll find her way home. Asha's disappearance has also frustrated law enforcement officers who have worked tirelessly to solve her case. The extensive early search failed to uncover solid leads. In later years, the emergence of Asha's book bag brought hope for a break in the case, but it ultimately just deepened the mystery further. Without more physical evidence or eyewitnesses, police have struggled to zero in on a conclusive explanation. Their inability to provide answers and give closure after so many exhaustive man-hours troubles investigators assigned to Asha's elusive case. Nationwide, child disappearances sadly occur more frequently than we would like to imagine. But something about Asha's case gripped the public imagination and sympathy perhaps more than similar stories. Maybe it was the image of a shy young girl who hated storms vanishing into a rainy night. Her humble roots and family's faith touched hearts too. Or the eerie twist of her backpack being discovered buried miles away years later. Whatever the reasons, Asha's story spread beyond North Carolina across national news outlets. It became a tragic symbol of childhood innocence lost and ongoing quests for answers. In the last several years, authorities have ramped up efforts to finally crack the mystery of Asha Degree's disappearance. Recent initiatives include increasing rewards, forming special investigative teams, utilizing advanced technologies, and keeping the public engaged through targeted campaigns. In 2015, the FBI announced a $25,000 reward for any information leading to those responsible for Asha's disappearance. Investigators hope this incentive might persuade someone to come forward with a crucial tip. An additional $20,000 is being offered by community groups. The following year, the FBI publicized a possible sighting of Asha getting into an older model green car on the morning she vanished. They asked the public to contact them if anyone has knowledge about such a vehicle. A child abduction rapid deployment team assisted on location in 2017, providing resources and analytical support. They also aided in conducting new interviews with potential sources who might hold overlooked clues. Most recently, in 2018, Cleveland County Sheriff's Office detectives specifically asked the public about the Dr. Seuss book and concert t-shirt found in Asha's backpack. Their presence remains perplexing, and police hope someone may recognize their significance. Authorities have also released age-processed photos showing what Asha may look like today as a 30-year-old woman. Keeping her story in the public eye, even 20 years later, remains critical to finally uncovering the truth about her fate. Asha Degree's disappearance stands out as an exceptionally puzzling missing child case that has stumped investigators for over 2 decades. Her sudden vanishing from her North Carolina home that stormy February night defies easy explanation. With no clear signs pointing to why a shy, cautious 9-year-old would leave her shelter in the middle of the night and walk a treacherous highway alone, we are left to speculate about her fate. Several theories attempt to make sense of the limited clues uncovered. In the years since Asha went missing, we have gained insight into how profoundly her absence impacted those closest to her and the community at large. The loss of Asha left an unfillable void felt most deeply by her loved ones, but also resonating through the town she called home. Recently, investigators have ramped up efforts to finally solve this cold case using updated technology and incentivized tips. But until definitive answers arise, the circumstances around Asha Degree's disappearance will remain an open, unsettling mystery. However, the hope persists that the ongoing search will one day uncover the truth of what really happened to Asha after she slipped into the darkness. Before you head out, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. This way, you'll continue to be updated on the latest true crime cases we uncover. We're so thankful to have you as part of our community, exploring captivating mysteries that keep us all intrigued. Stay curious, and remember, even closed books hold untold pages waiting patiently for revelation. Thanks for joining us, and we can't wait to see you in our next exploration. Until next time.